Drafting auditor's report. What is an auditor's report? So an auditor's report fulfills the obligation of the auditor, which is to check business accounts of the client. So an auditor is appointed by a client to check the business accounts of the client business and is supposed to submit to the client a report of auditor's findings. Thus, an audit report is a medium through which an auditor expresses an opinion on the client business and its state of affairs. So, an auditor expresses opinion on the client business and its state of affairs. Now, let us see what are the different documents and books an auditor examines while in the course of the auditing engagement with a company. So the auditor of a company before commencement of the audit should inspect the following documents and books of the company, namely prospectus, company prospectus, to make sure if everything mentioned in the article of association is included in the prospectus. Now statutory books also are examined, which will be list of books of account, statutory books maintained by the company, statistical books of the company, and register of mortgages and charges, register of members, register of index of debenture holders, register of investments, that is also examined, contract register, where the company registers the different contracts given out to other vendors, or in all contract related information which is stored in the contract register is also examined. Foreign register, that is examined. Directors register is examined, and register of shareholdings, where all details about shares of the company etc. is mentioned in the register of shareholdings. So that is also examined. The previous year's balance sheet need to be examined along with accounts and audit reports. List of officers of the company need to be examined as well as documents written by them. Incorporation certificates need to be examined. Auditor also examines written statements of internal check, and auditor also examines minute books also is examined by the auditor, where the following minute books need to be examined, namely shareholder, directors and committees minute books. So these are the different documents and books which an auditor examines during the course of an audit in a company. Next, we'll take a look at audit reports. What are the contents of a good audit report? So the following basic elements should be present in a good audit report, namely title, address, financial statements, auditing standards and practices that are followed in an audit, opinions on financial statement, auditor's name, address and signature. So that is the contents of a good audit report. Now what are the different types of audit reports? Audit reports belong to one or more of these types, namely clean or unqualified report, which are based on generally accepted accounting principle, and that is where clean or unqualified report sits in, which are reports based on generally accepted accounting principle, GAAP. Opinion disclaimers, which are whenever auditor fails to obtain information or gather evidences, he may make a disclaimer. So all the disclaimers are there in opinion disclaimers. That is one type of report which the auditor makes. Qualified audit report, which is on certain topic the auditor gives an opinion which is qualified. Maybe there is an evidence which is collaborating. So he makes a note of it. That is in a qualified audit report. And then there is adverse or negative report, which we will discuss in detail later. So what is an adverse or negative report? When an auditor cannot go on with the affirmations made in the financial statement, he issues an adverse or negative report. So if an auditor cannot go with affirmations made in the financial statements, he issues an adverse or negative report. By issuing a negative report, he states that the financial statements are not true or fair view of the affairs. working result and present state of affairs of the business. So whenever the auditor makes an adverse report, all material reasons are disclosed, and if the financial company fails to provide for bad and doubtful debts, there is enough material reason for issuing an adverse report. Next, audit report of companies. So according to Companies Act section 227, it is said that the duty of the auditor is to report to the members of the company all the accounts that are audited by the auditor, including balance sheet, profit and loss account, and every document which comes under the purview of the Companies Act, and should be laid before the general body of the company during the tenure of the auditor's office after commencement of the auditor. The auditor should also make a statement in his audit report stating relevant information given to him by the company, and should also state the balance sheet gives a true and fair view of the company's affairs at the end of the financial year, if the audit report turned out not to be an adverse report. So audit reports of the companies, auditor discloses all accounts audited, including profit and loss and balance sheet. It must be done or laid before the general body of the company. It should state in his audit report that balance sheet of the company is true and fair. If balance sheet is not in concurrence to be true or fair, auditor may issue an adverse report of the company. So this completes drafting auditor's report. Thank you.